Hey guys, I'm down here. This is going to be my chapter review to My Hero Academia 200 or Boku no Hero Academia 200 Resourceful General. Now, apologies for the review being late, and I think my Nanatsu no Taizai one should also be late, but they should both be uploaded like today at the same time-ish. But before the review, I want to congratulate Horikoshi Kohei for his 200th chapter, a milestone in his career, no doubt, and hopefully he remains healthy throughout the rest of his story, because I've been really enjoying Boku no Hero Academia, and I think a lot of you guys have as well, and it's a good milestone. So congratulations to Horikoshi Kohei. Now this chapter started off really well, and then it finished. So it was a really short chapter. Not sure why, but hopefully Horikoshi is fine. I'm not sure if he was ill or if he's been looking for a break or something like that, but I hope the dude is alright. So the chapter starts with mushrooms encompassing the terrain surrounding Class 1A's team, with mushrooms growing on Yaoyorozu and Hagakure. And it would be cool to see if we got to see more of Hagakure's form due to the mushrooms growing all around her, but I think she would still remain mostly invisible, so we wouldn't really get to see much besides probably her height and her actual like form. Is she like petite? Is she large? I don't know. I don't think she's meant to be quite large. I mean, we can tell that from like the cheerleader outfit she was wearing. It seemed to be like a normal, decent-ish size, if there is such a thing. So we then find out Kinoko Komori's quirk, who's this mushroom girl, and her quirk is called Mushroom. She emits spores from her body and can instantly grow mushrooms wherever she wants. And the more humid it is, the further her the further her spores will travel, and the faster her mushrooms will grow. So that's to be anticipated. And her hero name is She-Mage. I thought that was a pretty decent name, but if you've watched Evil Dead, the original trilogy, another phrase came to mind when I heard she, and then another kind of word following that word. I was like, really? You're gonna call yourself She-Mage? I was like, okay, cool. So also I thought it was really awesome how she's been given these mini kind of handguns designed specifically for her, you'd assume, so she can shoot her spores wherever she wants, directing exactly where she wants these her spores to grow and to turn into mushrooms. So I thought that was pretty cool and a nice little detail. So we then see that Kurohiro is hiding in a black mushroom, hidden from his enemies, and we are then shown Kendo's real kind of her plans through plan A and B, where she kind of more or less perfectly guesses Class A's reactions and their plans and how they would interact and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool, a very logical mindset that Kendo has, and you know, her ability to see these things occurring before they actually happened, and how well she knows Class 1A is obvious throughout all of this. However, she doesn't ever seem to really consider the Class 1A's ability to think on the fly and adapt to a situation, which is something Class A has been known to excel at when compared to Class B's kind of more rote learning, and they've kind of unified as a class, Class B, Class 1B, and their teamwork is exceptional and stuff like that. But their grades and stuff are exceptional, so their rote learning and everything like that, and their ability to think more academically is possibly higher than Class 1A's at this moment. But Class 1A are known to be able to think on the fly, to work, just to adapt to a situation and to respond immediately, because that's the kind of situation. Those are the situations they've been exposed to. So Class 1A's exposure is a lot higher than Class 1B's, and I think that's what Kendo didn't really factor in. So we'll come back to that. But while Kendo moves around to surround Class A, Yaoyorozu tries to rally her team back together, only for huge kanji letters to just fall down from the sky upon them, separating Class 1A from Yaoyorozu, which is the key part. Now here we're shown a really interesting quirk, the quirk of a person by the name of Manga Fukidashi, and his quirk is called Comic. His hero name is Comic Man, and he can materialize onomatopoeia into reality. Now I feel this is much easier to understand for a Japanese audience because it confused me quite a lot. Now, for the Western audience and for the audience, I think at large, maybe outside of Japan, who have an understanding of English similar to the Western world, so for instance, England, America, and then anybody else who has an understanding of English similar to the Western world, onomatopoeia are words which phonetically resemble, so they sound like the sounds they are describing, like bang, sizzle, pop, kaku, all of these words. But fukidashi then proceeds to utter the words in Japanese. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I think it's jime jime, which is apparently the onomatopoeia for a muggy, humid environment. So being muggy or humid in Japanese. Now, we have no such equivalent. There is no onomatopoeia for a muggy, humid environment in English. So it's a bit of a difficult concept to kind of grasp and to understand. But I think we should treat his quirk as possibly materializing adjectives as well. So adjectives being words which describe a noun. That's kind of like the basic definition of that. But yeah, so I think as well as onomatopoeia, maybe adjectives like humid or muggy, just so that the Western people can understand. Either way, the humidity rises, sending Hagakure on the run in panic. Meanwhile, Sero and Candyman, I've forgotten his name, observe that fighting against two ranged attackers is going to be a difficult feat no matter where you are, no matter who you are. But also whether Fukidashi's quirk would work in a different language. So whether Comic Man's quirk would work if he was thinking in a different language. And my thoughts on this, so long as he can think in that language, he should be able to materialize it. So if he knows the language well enough to be able to think up that word in his head, he should be able to materialize the onomatopoeia he's thinking or saying. So with this, Kendo goes straight for the brains of the operation, and she goes straight for Yaoyorozu, attacking Yaoyorozu now that she's alone. And her quirk, this is Kendo, her quirk is Big Fist. She can make her fists larger, increasing their power, more mass and stuff like that. You assume she'd need to be more power, like she'd need to have more bicep strength or anything, or tricep strength to kind of move her larger arms, but maybe her quirk enables her to not have to deal with much weight in her hands. Maybe they're not too weighty, but then the whole kind of idea of if it doesn't really add too much mass, how does her power increase and stuff like that. But we'll come back to that later. How does the force of her attack increase and stuff like that. We'll come back to that like another time, not today. So yeah, so Kendo unleashes a barrage of attacks, trying to give Yaoyorozu as little time to think as possible. And Tetsu here, in kind of just watching the screen, praises Kendo for her forethought, but our boy Shoto tells him how Kendo's plan may not have been as logical as he thinks and as she thought. So Shoto points out that if Yaoyorozu was deemed the one to be cautious of, in the sense of she's the one who needs to be exterminated because she's the brains of the operation, she's the controlling entity in this team, the entirety of Class B's team should have teamed up to end her. They should have made sure that there was no chance she would be able to make it out alive, because she's the one who could change the waves of this fight. You know, she could change the tide of the war or the battle. But instead, what Kendo has done is she's done goofed, and she's got Yaoyorozu in a one-on-one in a duel that doesn't really give her like a 100% chance of winning, and she doesn't even have, I think it's about a 65-35 chance of winning, but that's not the highest probability that she could have forced. If the highest probability would have been if she had her whole squad, like 5 people, I think it's 4 people on Yaoyorozu just destroying her. Those would have been the best odds. So Shoto has he has a major point, and then we see Yaoyorozu thinking back on how Kendo believes that Momo is better than her in quite a few ways and some really important ways, even though Momo herself doesn't really believe it. She's like I'm still a fool, I still have a lot of things I need to learn. You're placing too much kind of faith in my skills, and you think I have more skills than I do, and you don't like that people compare us and stuff like that, but I'm not too much better than you are. However, Momo wants to prove herself to someone who she sees as kind of like a friend, a rival, and looks to be unleashing a special move at the end of this chapter. We have no idea what it's going to be, but she looks pretty happy with herself. So that was the end of the chapter. Right when it was about to get good, it finishes, and that was about it. Now this review's been kind of slow. I've been almost on the verge of coughing all the way through, but I think that's about it. So let me know what you guys thought of this review. Let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Next week, so from Monday to Friday, I probably won't be releasing reviews. I'll probably have to do those retrospectively for the 2 that I always try to do retrospectively, which would be Taizai and One Piece. Maybe not Boku no Hero, but that's because I'll be in a different city, so I'm not going to be taking all my gear and stuff because I don't have any hand luggage or I don't have any whole luggage that I'm able to take with me. So I just got to take minimal equipment and stuff like that. So clothes, essentially. But yeah, so next week's going to be a bit of a bummer, but I'll try and reiterate that point in my review for One Piece and Boku no Hero this week. So yeah, I'll let you guys know. But all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in a bit.